Okay, ladies, let's go over how we make this star top. So the first thing you're gonna do is cut out your star top like I have here, and you're gonna use a binding piece. Either a binding piece or fold over elastic will work as well. I cut my binding piece to 1 inch and 1/4. Also, the stars I'm using here are 6 inches across, and I used my Cricut to get the shape. And I'm just gonna add a little razzle-dazzle to these. And the trick to rhinestoning your outfits before binding them is just to be very, very cautious of your seam allowance. And I find that if I do have a rhinestone in the way of my needle, I just heat the back ends of the rhinestone and it pops right off, no problem. Wow. And yeah, so here I am just adding that, being cautious of my seam allowance, and I'm pressing them for like 370, which is a little high, but my thing does not have much pressure, for about, 30 seconds. So starting off, the first thing that we're gonna sew is our neckline. We're gonna start with our left side, the top tip. We're gonna add that in like so. And then following right behind it, I literally put this right behind, I don't add a gap. I put that right behind and add that side as well. That's our neckline. And I think if you want to keep these small to fit over the nipple covers to extend the size, you would add the inches into that space between both of the stars. So this is our neckline, that's in, and now we're going to do the straps that go around our neck. So I start from the left side, I go all the way around using my entire binding piece. And as I get to the end of my binding is when I attach the right side tip and around to the side. After that, we're gonna cut off the side pieces, the extra pieces, and we wanna stay in the same direction our fabric is going because we want that star shape not to get distorted. So now we have to add the binding for the sides. These are the straps that go around the back end. And like I did before, I start on my left side, I use my entire binding piece. As it get close to the end, I'm gonna go in and add the right side. Once I do that, we're gonna cut off those. So now that our top half is done, we're gonna work on the bottom. So we're gonna do all those little points, and on like the top, we're not going to have these long straps anymore. So just starting with a little tail already in, I'm gonna go attach that point over and down, and I'm gonna leave enough fabric so they can fold over and make a channel for that bottom half. So I just cut that piece off, leaving the tail on one side. We're gonna have a tail for this side too. We're gonna bring it around back to our right side, or left side I should say. And we're gonna cut off this extra. This will make more sense. And whatever you do, do not cut that middle. You will no longer have a one piece. So now we just have that last V on our star, and we're gonna add that in. And both sides of that star are going to need a tail from both ends, because again, we are gonna make channels for our bottom straps instead of having them hanging off. That will help keep that star shape. And you'll be looking at this. So now we have to make the channels for the bottom string. And I'm just gonna use my straight stitch machine to do all 4 of those channels. And I'm gonna cut all my excess string off, excess material off. And then once we do that, you're gonna need something to feed through those bottom loops. I'm gonna use just my regular plain pink fabric, but I think invisible string would look really cute like this too. I think invisible string will really pop out that star shape. And yeah, she's super cute. I love her already. And this is her adorable. And if you want to make this like a little bit bigger, you would just add space between the 2 stars, and then boom, you'd have a